Hi guys, I'm going to discuss about Sigmund Freud's psychosexual development. Sigmund Freud was born on May 6, 1856 in Freiburg, Moravia, Austrian Empire. He was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis, a movement that the theory that unconscious motives control much behavior. Perhaps Freud's single most enduring and an important idea was that the human psyche, or the personality, has more than one aspect. Freud's personality theory saw the psyche structured into three parts: the ego, and superego. It is a primitive and instinctive component of personality. For example of this is you feel hungry and you demand food. You want to be touched, so you demand to be held. Since you have no understanding of right or wrong and are not aware of the needs of others, all that exists for you is your desire for what you need or want at any given moment. According to Freud, we experience three levels of consciousness. These three levels are unconsciousness, preconscious, and deconsciousness. So the id exists in your unconsciousness or outside of your awareness. Since this is not part of your awareness, the desires of the id are not manipulated by the experience or thought. Next is the ego. Ego is the part of the id which has been modified by the direct influence of the external world. For example of this is one of your friend wants you to go to a party. The other friend thinks that you should stay home and study for a test you have coming up. You want to find a way to keep both of your friends happy, so you come up with a compromise. You will study for an hour and then go to the party later. The ego exists in all three levels, but it is the components of our current awareness. Next is the superego. Superego incorporates the values and morals of society which are learned from one's parents and others. The superego can be divided into two parts: the ego ideal and conscience. Ego ideal is our idealistic view of what is right, and the conscience is our view of what is considered wrong. So the first stage of psychosexual development is the oral stage. Its age range is birth to 1 year old, and its erogenous zone is mouth. During the oral stage, the infant's primary source of interaction occurs through the mouth, so the rooting and sucking reflex is especially important. Infants is entirely dependent upon caretakers who are responsible for feeding the child. The child also develops a sense of trust and comfort through this oral stimulation. For example, if this is eating, and the infant derives pleasure from oral stimulation through gratifying activities such as tasting and sucking. The second stage is the anal stage. Freud believed that the primary focus of the libido was on controlling bladder and bowel movements. The major conflict at this stage is the toilet training. The child has to learn to control his or her bodily needs. Developing this control leads to a sense of accomplishment and independence. The third stage is the phallic stage. Its erogenous zone is genitals and its age range is 3 to 6 years old. At this stage, children begin to discover the differences between males and females. Freud also believed that the boys begin to view their fathers as rival for the mother's affection. The Oedipus complex described these feelings of wanting to possess the mother and the desire to replace the father. However, the child also fears that he will be punished by the father for these feelings, a fear Freud termed castration anxiety. And the term Electra complex has been used to describe a similar set of feelings experienced by young girls. Freud, however, believed that girls instead experience penis envy. The fourth stage is the latent period. Age range is 6 to puberty. Erogenous zone and sexual feeling are inactive. The superego continues to develop while the id's energies are suppressed. Children develop social skills, values, and relationship with peers and others outside of the family. The latent period is a time for exploration in which the sexual energy repressed or dormant. This energy is still present, but it is submillated into other areas such as intellectual pursuits and social interactions. The last stage is the genital stage. Age range is puberty to death. Erogenous zone is maturing sexual interest. Genital stage is the final stage of psychosexual development, begins at the start of puberty when sexual urges are once again awakened. Through the lessons learned during the previous stages, adolescents direct their sexual urge into opposite sex pairs, with the primary focus of pleasure is the genitals.